have another discussion, about this book right here, Civilization of the Ancient Egyptians by Katanga A. Bongo. All right. Now, this man, Katanga Bongo, was born in West Africa, but he lives here in the United States. He's done research about South America and its influence on Africa. And basically, I'm going to show you today how civilizations move along. All right. Let me start by reading this page out of his book. All right. Another often overlooked piece of evidence in the study of human civilizations is the agricultural similarity between South America and Africa. At the time that South Americans first got to Africa, the Africans did not know anything about cultivation. It was the South American Indians who introduced the idea of cultivation to Africa. The biggest change that the South Americans brought to Africa was the change in agricultural from foraging to cultivation. Not only did the South Americans introduce cultivation to Africa, but they also introduced a wide variety of crops to Africa. The land in North Africa at the time had amazing agricultural potential, but what it was lacking was a variety of agricultural crops. The wide variety of crops that the South Americans introduced to Egypt was one of the principal factors that led to the rapid rise in the prominence of ancient Egypt. Today, more than 90% of the crop varieties that exist in Africa are South American Indian crops. All of the root crops that are grown in Africa today are South American crops. Nearly all vegetable varieties that are cultivated in Africa today originated in South America. Most of African traditional dishes originated in South America. Among the crops that the South Americans introduced to Africa are pepper, kola nut, corn, millet, yam, sweet potato, cocoa yam, pumpkin, squash, gourd, black-eyed peas, peanuts, okra, pineapple, cocoa, plantain, banana, and tobacco, palm nut, coconut, ginger, garlic, sugarcane, tomato, onion, and cotton. Gourds were used to make eating and drinking vessels. Tobacco was used only for smoking. The South Americans also introduced goat, hen, guinea hen, and dog to Africa. Today, 7,000 years later, there is still a large overlap between indigenous South American agriculture and African agriculture. So, I know people are automatically going to get in their feelings, but this man was from Africa, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have went out of his way to disparage Africa, okay? The man did the research, and the truth is, like I've said multiple times, everything in America is older than Africa, civilizations included, all right? Now, I know, again, this might sound a little off to some people because we've always been taught everything came from Africa. This is not true. In fact, we have all of the oldest evidence for everything being older here. And before this modern era where they teach us everything is older in Africa, back in the days, Thomas Jefferson himself agreed with this theory, okay? This was from a book, Traditions of the Earliest Americans, and let's just read it. It says, "It was the belief of the wise Thomas Jefferson that America was the first seat of the human race, and that Eastern Hemisphere was peopled from the Western." A letter written by him to the President Styles of Yale College in 1786, while he represented the United States at the court of France, was published in the American Museum for November 1787, page 492. From this letter, the following extract was taken, clearly stating Mr. Jefferson believed that the first inhabitants of Asia, who so much resembled the American Aborigines, went from America to Asia instead of coming from Asia to America. Okay? So, not only Africa, Asia too. You understand? Now, one piece of evidence would be DNA. In 2013, Albert Perry from South Carolina in the United States turned out to have the oldest known bloodline. Okay, and they also went to Africa trying to find matching bloodlines, and the closest they found was in Cameroon, but they still weren't as old as Albert Perry's. They said that their most common ancestor was between 17 and 70,000 years apart. All right. So the bloodline is one. Now let's talk about pyramids. America has the oldest, the largest, and the most pyramids on the planet. Okay. The oldest pyramids came from Brazil. Some people might say they were in Peru. And guess what? That's all the same region, so that's possible also. But the bottom line is the oldest pyramids in the world started in South America, same place where all of that cultivation came from. All right? And again, before they started that everything came from Africa, back in 1896, the Kansas City Journal wrote how that ancient Egypt originated from the Yucatan in Mexico. All right? This is you can look this up. This post still exists. You can literally look this up for yourself if you want to read the whole story. But they knew back in the 1800s that ancient Egypt was a satellite of the Yucatan. Okay. When I say America has the most pyramids, Africa, as they know, has about 387 pyramids. For North America alone, just North America is over 1,000, and they are discovering more every day. In South America and Brazil, they said they had over 2,000 down there when Caucasians first made it down there. Okay? So then, like I said, the oldest, the most, and also the largest. There's actually two, and the largest pyramids, or both of them, are in Mexico. All right? The first one is Cholula, and it is considered the largest by volume as of today, right? And the other one is El Mirador, and that's called the cradle of the Maya civilization. It's also considered the largest by volume. I don't understand how both could be, but what I will say is Cholula is probably the widest in like the, most amount, and El Mirador is probably the tallest. So yes, in fact, there are two of the largest pyramids of the world, and both of them are found in North America or current day Mexico. All right. So let's just bring it down to this. Everything didn't start in Africa. Not people, not civilization, none of that. And it's okay if y'all want to call Africa the motherland, but if it is, then America has to be the fatherland, because the seed came from America. So one love to my folks out in Africa. If you rock with us, we rock with you. But if not, we ain't losing no sleep over it. King moves, I'm out.